Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's, well, there's no easy way to say it. It's the last day. The bike's actually cold for once. It's doing like a cold start warm-up. Yeah, there's no easy way to say this. It's the last day of the trip. So, we're going to ride to a Shell this morning, just to grab some nutritious energy drinks for breakfast. And then once we've done that, we're effectively hopping on the Autobahn. We're going to go through Luxembourg and through Belgium. So these are two countries that I've never been to before. So that puts us country number 22. That should be in total, yeah, 21 and 22, or maybe 22 and 23, I can't really remember. The more I go back through these videos, the more I realise that I'm like counting how many countries we've been to so many times. So future Sam, cut this bit out and we can work it out. So Luxembourg is going to be country number 21, and then Belgium is going to be country number 22. And then France is 23, and then we're back home again. We can count England as 24, why not? Anyway, so there we go. That's the main plan for today. I'm not sure how much I'm going to film of it. Obviously, just because autobahns tend to not be the most friendly places to film. Just, you know, it's just quite wind noisy and sort of a bit buffeting or whatever the fuck it's called. So yeah, we'll see how much of it we film. What I might do, because obviously tomorrow morning we're kind of just waking up and then go into the tunnel. I might just blend today's and tomorrow's into one video, because that'll probably make it up. Because I would imagine most of tomorrow's video is going to be riding home, basically. We're going to be getting out in Folkestone in Kent and then riding up through Kent up into Essex, and you know, as close to home as I can get it without baiting out where I live, basically. Anyway, there we go. So we've got the screen all the way up today, so we're trying to get rid of as much of this wind buffeting as we can. Yeah, there we go. Do you know what? It's been a really good trip. I think what I'll do, kind of along the journey, just to give myself a little bit of content, I'll think of some questions that I can sort of ask myself. Oh fuck, I was meant to go up there. Was I? No, I wasn't. I think of some questions that I can ask myself. You know, like best country, worst country, best roads, worst roads, you know, memorable bits, that kind of stuff. And we'll just talk through the trip. I think that would be really nice, personally. Okay, so we've asked ChatGPT to give us some questions to answer about this trip, because I feel like that would be a good way to kind of summarise the trip, but then also do something so this video doesn't completely go to waste, because we are just going to be sat on motorways all day. So the first question it gave me was, why did I actually do this trip? So kind of, why was it important? Why did we do it? Why did we quit our job, spend thousands of pounds, and just ride in one big loop around Europe? To be honest, and I'm going to be really honest here, I do it because I want to prove to myself that I can do it. There are certain things, I won't go into too much detail what those things are, certain things that people have said would limit my ability to do things in life. Diabetes being the main one. And I kind of do it as a bit of a fuck you to those people. It's also, I personally think riding a motorcycle is the best way to see anything. like regardless of whether that's a country or a town or a city or countryside or mountains or whatever. I think motorcycles are the best way to do it personally. And yeah, it kind of just made sense. I mean, I wanted to go. I didn't have a huge desire to go to places like Belgium and Luxembourg and Germany. Well, that's not true about Germany. I didn't have a huge desire to go to places like Belgium and France and Hungary and those kind of places, because as far as I was concerned, I'd been to those places before. But when you go on a motorcycle, you see different parts of those places, right? And the main places I wanted to go and see, I wanted to go and do Scandinavia, and I wanted to go and see Norway and Sweden and Denmark and places like that. I was also really curious about Latvia and Lithuania, and the other places I wanted to go and see were Serbia and Bosnia. And I think going on a motorcycle is the best way to explore everything, because you're on your own bike, so there's that comfort that you've got. It's a bit like driving your own car in Europe, like it's yours. There's a certain level of ownership there, a certain level of when I look at this bike in the garage, I'm going to go, oh, do you remember when we did that thing? So yeah, it's in the name of exploration, sticking two fingers up to the people that tell me I can't do things because of my medical problems. And yeah, just so when I'm 80 years old, 75 years old, and I'm sat there with my grandkids, I can tell them stories about places I've been to. Because when I know people that 10 years ago went to Kiev in Ukraine on holiday, and now look at it, and I know people that went to what was Czechoslovakia or what was Yugoslavia, or people that went to Germany when the wall was falling, and none of those things exist now. So if in 60 years time, I don't know, Hungary invades Slovakia, then I can say, oh, I've been to that bit, and I've been to that bit, and I've been to that, so yeah, that's kind of why, basically. Yeah. Well, here we are, everyone. Welcome to Luxembourg. Very pretty already, very, very pretty. I think they speak French in Luxembourg, so I suppose we should say auf Wiedersehen to Deutschland and salut or bonjour to Luxembourg. Okay, so while we're in traffic, the second question that ChatGPT has asked me was what was my favourite day of the whole trip? And I've probably got two answers to that, or maybe three. The best riding day, the best experience day, should we say, and then my favourite day of the whole trip. So the best riding day is either going to be riding through riding through Slovakia. So when we left that campsite in Czechia, rode through Slovakia to Hungary. Those roads were I think it was the surprise factor that got me about that trip, because I didn't expect Slovakia to be a country that impressed me to the extent that it did in terms of road quality, like road surface quality, and also all of the twisties, The second riding day has to be riding from Split up to Zadar, and then up that Dalmatian coast. I can't remember, it's the A63 or something. Yeah, that road was unbelievable. Arguably the best road that I rode on this trip was that road there. The biggest experience day for me was, without a shadow of a doubt, riding to, what was it called now? The trail day we did in Bosnia. That day was, started off with great twisty mountain roads, then 2.5 hours of just gravel, dirt, just heaven. And I've really got comfortable riding the bike off-road. And, you know, on loose stuff and on gravel and with the traction control off and the ABS off and, you know, going around the corner and then giving it a little squirt of throttle to bring the back end out. And, yeah, unbelievable. And then obviously that same road decided to deliver us something a little bit tasty at the end when we had to go down that like 30-degree big rock gradient, everything. Yeah, mental day. That was probably one of the most scenic and just awe-inspiring days of the trip. And then my actual favourite day, we have two options. Either on the boat on the fjord in Norway. That day was just so much fun. We went out on the boat, we went out on the big donut thing that hung off the back, we went and got pizza and ice cream. Yeah, genuinely unbelievable day out. And then the other favourite day that I had probably was when I was in the north of Croatia. Went to Rabac with my girlfriend and we just sat on the beach, people watched, went for a little swim, had a few beers, came back, went out for a nice dinner. Yeah, those two are probably my favourite days of the trip. So favourite road, Dalmatian coast in Croatia. Favourite day, riding to Locomir in Bosnia. And then favourite day of the whole trip, either on the boat on the fjord or at the beach in Rabat, I would say. Okay, so the next question is, which country surprised me the most? Well, I don't think it will come as a surprise to many people to say I didn't think Slovakia would be as good as it was. That's probably the main surprise to me. It was a country I kind of just expected to go through on the way to something else would end up being such an amazing country. The other country that really surprised me, the two other countries that really surprised me actually, Lithuania. Lithuania really surprised me. Not so much the country, but I didn't expect the people to be as friendly as what they were. And that's not me saying I expected them to be rude or I expected them to be whatever, but like, they were just so lovely. Every Lithuanian person I met, the people in the hotel, the people at the local shops, the guy in that coin shop that we went to, they were all so friendly. And people that I've spoken to since all agree with me. They say that Lithuanian people are some of the loveliest people. And the country that surprised me the most was probably from a scenery perspective, it would be Bosnia. I just didn't, when we did that road to Locomir, I just didn't know you could get those big, expansive, like, plains and valleys and plateaus, I suppose would be the better word for it, in Europe. I think, it looks like Mongolia or Kazakhstan or, somewhere in kind of Central Asia. It didn't look like South Europe. So yeah, those are the two countries that surprised me the most, I would say. Probably Slovakia and Bosnia from a scenery perspective. I just missed it. That little line there, that's France. I saw the border coming up and I thought, oh shit, I need to get the microphone out of the thing and whatever, but anyway. Welcome to France, everyone. Country number 23 and the final country on our tour. And right on cue. Can't access the data. Yeah, final one, guys. Okay, I'm sure no one who's been watching these videos will be surprised to hear this, Slight change of plan. I got to Lille, and I don't like judging a place by its cover, but it's an absolute fucking shithole. Like genuine. And I've been to some pretty bad places in my time. Not necessarily on this trip, just in general. But this really is a fucking dump. So, guess where we're an hour away from? You can see it on that sign. Calais. So, the cost of the hotel tonight, I know we were talking about costs of hotels and changing trips and stuff. The cost of the hotel was going to be €70. And the cost to change the ticket was 60. It's an hour's ride. I'm not done riding yet, I'll be completely honest. I hate stopping at 3. I am so wide awake. And what the fuck is that? Anyway, so I've made the executive decision. We're going home today. We're going to put in a stint on the motorway. And we're going to get to Calais. And we're going home. Here we go, boys and girls. So the trip doesn't end tomorrow. The trip ends today. Bonjour. Welcome to Le Tunnel, LeShuttle. Yeah, we're here 2 hours early. We were just flying down that road. I mean, the speed limit is 130, and we didn't go above the speed limit at all. But it was just a case of like, if you put yourself at the speed limit and just stick to it, you get through it pretty swift, a lot of that traffic. So yeah, I mean, it does look quite busy, but we can only hope, can't we, that they'll just go, oh, you're on a motorbike, oh, okay, yeah, alright then, yeah, let's go through, yeah, fine, yeah, nice, yeah. So yeah, so we can hope, can't we? Right, let's go to this one, shall we? Yeah, why not? Treat yourself. Okay, alright, I'll catch you when we're on the other side. Oh, my fuel light's just come on. Good timing, Sam, good timing. Right, catch you in a bit. And once again, the peg comes in handy. I think she said, this is the problem, I can't fucking hear because I've got my headphones in. I think she said I'm on the next one, which is 506. So I've got to go straight through. Can I go around that way? Can I go around? Okay, awesome. Oh. Yeah, fuck these guys. Haha, look at this. Motorcycles only. Let's nip in here. Yeah, so I'm not really sure where I go. I'm just going to pull over and check, just to check what time my actual thing is on. Well, that was fucking exhausting. Bear in mind I turned up 2 hours early and they put me on a train that should have been there in half an hour. I'm on my original train. It took 2 hours to get through security, sat in the heat, and my fuel light came on and I got shouted at for riding too fast down the train just because I wanted to catch the last one. But yeah, anyway, we're on the train now, so 35 minutes will be in Folkestone. So that'll put us in the UK at 6, basically. And then yeah, we've got like a 90-minute ride home, but I'm going to set a land speed record for the quickest time from Folkestone back home to Essex. I need to fill up with fuel as well, which is a bit of a ball late because that just it just eats into time. But yeah, it's fine. We don't have to stay in a really shit hotel, and we're going to be home, and we'll get into Deliveroo and just chill out, basically. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll probably do one last video, maybe tomorrow sometime, just like talking through the trip, talking through like logistics and how I planned everything, and then yeah, edit them all, upload them all. You guys can enjoy, basically. Oh, we're moving. Right, See you in England. Okay, after a fairly pleasant crossing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the UK. Annoyingly, I mean, anyone will know this if you've been on the Eurostar on a bike, is they make you wait to get on at the end because there's like a designated motorcycle parking bit. And I thought that meant you got off at the start, but you fucking don't. You gotta wait until all these cagers, as they call people that drive cars, don't they? Cagers. You gotta wait till everyone else gets off first. A bit fucking annoying, isn't it? Anyway, it reckons we've got an hour and 40 until we get back. I'm going to say 2 hours, only because we've got to stop for fuel, so that'll take 10 minutes. So we shall be back at the wonderful Chelmsford, Ford across the Chelmer. Yeah, back about 8 o'clock, I reckon. That time still hasn't changed. We're still an hour ahead, but according to my watch and the bike, yeah, I reckon about 2 hours. So, right, anyway, let's film a little bit of this coming out. Let's turn on the fogs as well. Right, cool. Oh, we are actually the last prick off. Oh, so annoying. Based on how long we waited as well. How frustrating is that? Right. Okay. Let's crack on with some miles, shall we? We're not doing K's anymore. We're doing fucking miles. Up the boys. Right. Petrol station, where art thou, petrol station? Right, as soon as you come out, down the ramp, there's a petrol station on your left. That's how I remember it, at least. So fucking lovely. What do you reckon the prices on this are going to be? Yeah, hello, can I have 16 litres of petrol? Of course you can. Can I have one of your testicles and your firstborn child? That would be lovely. Thanks very much. Where is it? Is it over there? Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, catch you in a bit. The exact traffic I was talking about me not wanting to get stuck in. If you've never seen the Dartford crossing, this is the tunnel at 7 PM on a Sunday. I think I've got an answer, by the way, to my question of who are the best and worst drivers. So, the best drivers, the Germans, without a shadow of a doubt. The worst drivers are either the Croatians, right? I'll give them that one, or the Brits. There is no order in how these fucks drive. Like, people are just sat in the outside lane doing 60 miles an hour, and it's illegal to undertake them, by the way. Let's put that in the dictionary there. It's illegal to undertake. But these fuckers will still sit in the slow lane, in the fast lane, sorry, at 70 miles an hour when you're not overtaking anyone, and all the other lanes are free, by the way. There's no, no massive problem there. Anyway, yeah. So this was my daily commute. There's back and forwards. Come on, fuckface, give me a bit of room, would you? And it makes you aggressive. Having to ride through here, it turns you into an aggressive person, because no one in the UK, sorry, this has turned into a real rant now, no one in the UK looks out for bikes at all. And people will just try and make a really sudden lane change, no indication, no nothing, they'll just see a gap and they'll just pull into it. So like, that's why you've got to be, when there's gaps like these ones, that's why you've got to be so careful that this white BMW doesn't just try and jump in there, or, you know, this white Renault doesn't see this gap and doesn't see me, or this grey Audi, or... See, there you go, perfect. I mean, at least they signalled, but there you go, that fuck didn't. So they just don't look out for bikes. And, yeah. Anyway. Nearly home. Half an hour left from here normally. So, yeah, 31 minutes according to Waze. So, yeah, normally it's about half an hour from the crossing, about half an hour to the house. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We have just pulled off the M25. And we're getting on the A12, which is the international sign to anyone from Essex that you're nearly home. So, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say to the people that have watched these videos, I know they're not massively professional, and I know they're probably not the most interesting things in the world to some people, but thanks for watching. It's been a months-long expedition, these videos, and not all sunshine, not all rainbows, but for the most part, what a fucking trip that was, eh? Oh, yeah, that's all I'll say. I'll put a clip in of me sticking the bike in the garage, just as a little bit of a dramatic moment, but yeah, all I want to say to most people, thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching, thanks for watching the bits you did and skipping the bits that you got bored of. This won't be the last one, I can promise you that. It'll be the last one for a little while, but yeah, we'll be back. Alright, for the last time, bye!